Time. FlatFoot's one of those things that's really dear to all of our hearts, and we're really blessed to be a part of this band. And it's we're hoping to do some more stuff in the year to come, and it's gonna be awesome. We just had a conversation this week. Actually, Brandon, Kyle, and I sat down and talked to the other guys as well, and we're gonna start writing a little bit and try to see if we can get some more stuff going. But some things happened with us that really kind of we were on tour, and we kind of came home, and the world kind of fell apart. And things kind of just, we basically, in a not a literal way, but in a figurative way, drove our van right into a brick wall. And it just obliterated some of the things that were going on in our lives. And so when we came home, there were some things that we had to kind of reset and to say, you know what, we need to reevaluate where we're at. And we've been touring 280 dates a year for too long. We got a good work ethic because we come from a working city. But sometimes we, as Chicagoans, we have a tendency to go too fast, too hard, too long, and we forget the people that matter the most around us. And it's definitely important for us to remember that sometimes you got to pace yourself and put good boundaries in your life. And so the last few years for this band, we've kind of been slowing down. Don't get emotional on me.
You already did.
So there's I want to encourage you guys. You know. Going through that time is a real difficult thing, and I know a lot of us have gone through a lot of different things. And I heard a quote, actually today I was watching a video about a musician who's quickly becoming one of my favorite. He's dead, but he's quickly becoming my favorite as I study more about his life. He's a man named Rich Mullins, and there's a documentary about him. He was a guy that basically he made a lot of money being a musician, and what he did is he set all of his income up through a church and just said, hey, just pay me the minimum working man salary. I don't want to even know what comes in. He's known to walk around without shoes on. He wasn't a hippie. He just really believed in living a life more like Jesus did. And one of the quotes that was in this documentary that I watched said, you know, the world is led truly by those who walk humbly, only because they've been broken on the wheels of life one too many times. And I want to challenge you. Sometimes we look too strongly on ourselves and we just say, I can handle it, I can take it all, until we realize that sometimes we get broken. And you know what? That place of brokenness is the place where we become real. The place of brokenness is a place where we realize that we as ourselves can't handle everything and that we need something more. And I want to encourage you, you know, there's a lot of things that we tend to fill our lives with to make ourselves feel good. And I'm sure everybody in this place can relate to that. Just saying, you know what? There's things that we throw into our lives that we're trying to fill this frustration or void or difficult place. And we do it with relationships, we do it with alcohol, we do it with drugs, we do it with our kids, we do it with whatever seems to matter in this life. We're always grasping onto it, and we're just saying, this is where it's at, until we lose it, until we lose those things. And we realize that they weren't lasting. People are important. We need to take care of them. We need to love our friends. Stick in with those. I've lost too many friends to suicide over the last few years. And it's frustrating because there's a lot of people around them that wanted to pour their lives into them and encourage them. And so what I want to tell you is, listen, fill your life with something that matters. Don't try to fill it with something that everybody around you is. I mean, people, look at what's around you. If people aren't happy, if people aren't, just look. Keep your eyes open. Find a place where your spirit can be filled and be encouraged, because that's where I found hope through the difficult time of my life. I'm not up here to preach at you, and I'm not up here to tell you what to believe, but I do want to encourage you, because the reality is that during that difficult time in my life, when I was sitting in that dark, cold room, not knowing what to do, my whole apartment was empty, just completely lost all sense of desire to do anything. In that place, I was able to experience a closeness with God that I've never felt before. And to this day, I can look back at that time and just say, you know what? That was a defining moment in my life, because I needed it. I needed something bigger. I needed something bigger than just a friend. I needed something bigger than just food. I needed something bigger than just playing a tour. I needed something that would keep me alive. And that experience was something that really changed a lot of my whole world. And I want to share that with you because I think a lot of us have a tendency to just, you know, I love you guys. And the reality is, man, I love you. I love you. And you know what? That love comes from the place. It comes from somewhere that's real because it's really authentic. And that's why we wanted to do this show. This Christmas show is more than just, hey, let's raise a bunch of toys for kids, you know. I thought the story that Josh shared with me, this whole idea for the show tonight came from FBS. Josh, when he was a kid, the main singer of FBS, was in a home that was so poor they couldn't do Christmas. And he remembers getting 2 boxes of toys over a 2-year period. From local Toys for Tots people and also from like local churches, and he said it was the only thing that kept him going as a child, just being able to receive a box, even if they were broken toys. It just was a memory, and so he's like, I want to do these shows every year just to make sure that that kids are taken care of and we can help them out. So I thank you for pouring out. These basement shows have always been benefits. They've always been something that's helping kids out or helping the food pantry out or helping out our community. And so I think it's a cool opportunity for the punk scene to give back. And it's great to see old friends and just dance around like we're a bunch of kids again, right? Maybe some of you
can't go home.
Can't go home. Yeah, that's really sad. So, this song is called Courage. This one goes out to an old man that lived down the street about 2 blocks from here named John Roberski. He's a World War II vet. I don't think he's alive anymore. This neighborhood's changing a lot, and that's okay. Change happens. But sometimes you got to remember the guys that fought to make us be able to stay in the environment we're in and to be able to live in the environments we're in. And this goes out to John Roberski, the memory of that man who would definitely change my life in the way I saw people around me, the older people around me. This one's called Courage. It goes a little something like this.